Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about futures trading or futures prop firm in general, as this is one of the most requested videos by far by most of you on comments, and also kapag nagle-livestream ako on YouTube, maraming tanong regarding futures trading, and hopefully by having this video I will be able to showcase or answer all the questions that you have in mind. Alright, so what is futures trading? Futures are contract to buy or sell a specific underlying asset at a future date. The underlying asset can be a commodity, security, or other financial instrument. Futures trading require the buyer to purchase or the seller to sell the underlying asset at the set price, whatever the market price at the expiration date. So that is basically the Google definition of futures trading. A lot of misconception that I am getting, or questions that I get a lot as well, is meron bang forex with futures? With futures, you can trade index, currencies, and commodities. So with currencies, it involves euro, GBP, JPY, and more other pair. And with commodity, you have the gold, oil, silver, sugar, orange juice, coffee, and many other things as well that you can trade. So those are all in the futures trading. Of course, hindi mawawala dyan yung index, which is yung S&P, Nasdaq, Dow, Russell, and yeah. But mainly, I trade S&P, Nasdaq, and the Dow when I am live streaming. So what is the comparison to Forex? So first of all, futures is well regulated. Data is centralized from CME, or Chicago Mercantile Exchange. It is high leverage. We use points and ticks. So this is not ticket. So it's ticks for sizing, not lots. Virtually no spread and less slippage compared to forex brokers. You can trade through TradingView. So that's a big thing for futures. And with forex, CFDs product are not well regulated. Low barrier to entry on personal accounts. High leverage, high spread depending on the broker, and also there's high slippage as well. It is heavily manipulated. Have to trade through web platform or kaya naman sa MT4 or MT5. Although mag-trade ka rin naman with web platform with futures, but you just had the option, the TradingView. And most of the time, the web platform futures broker, it is way better compared to the ones in Forex like MatchTrader, or the alternative that prop firms use lately. Ang dami kong naririnig na complain like sa mga DXTrade, MatchTrader, sa mga prop firms na ginagamit, madalas nagsha-shutdown sila. Although nangyayari din yun sa futures before, but ever since I transitioned to futures, hindi ko pa siya na-experience. So yeah, when I say the data is centralized on futures, it means you are all trading one price. So there is no manipulation because it is highly regulated, and all the traders that are trading at the same time is actually looking at the same price. So kunyari nag-buy ako sa certain price, all the traders, we are all seeing the same chart. Unlike with Forex, if you notice, with every different platforms out there, iba-ibang, kunyari nagtitrade ka with this prop firm and they have their own MT5, and kung compare mo siya sa ibang prop firm, iba yung price action, iba yung price. If you look at the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, they all have the differences. As compared to futures, you are all trading the same thing. So that's a big thing for me. I know I am very accurate with what I am trading. So yeah, virtually there are no spread. Hindi katulad sa Forex na merong depende sa account size mo, depende sa lot size na gamit mo, ang laki ng spread. So it is heavily manipulated because broker can manipulate those data as much as they want. So if you are profitable on one prop firm or one broker, like personal account, they can increase your slippage, they can increase spread on your trading account, and yeah, it is heavily manipulated. Although with Forex, it is low barrier to entry on personal accounts, like pwede ka mag-deposit ng $100. With futures, you cannot do that. Although lately I've been doing some research, yes, you can trade personal account with futures, but very limited platform. As for the platform that I want, wala pa akong nakita. So nag-search ako ng contest sa Reddit. Merong mga ibang broker na nag-aalaw ng futures, pero na kapag sa Philippines ka, pero ang problema is high yung barrier to entry. So meaning mataas yung required minimum deposit nila. Alright, I think umabot ng 100,000 yung per minimum, up to 1 million minimum, I believe, or yeah, somewhere around that. Depende pa yon. So yun yung tinatawag ng margin requirement. Depende pa yon kung swing trader ka, intraday scalper. So yung swing traders, para makapag-hold ka ng overnight position, ang alam ko nasa 1 million minimum yung kailangan mong i-deposit or $20,000 plus. So nakadepende siya kung anong type of trader ka. So sa Forex to future symbol, sa Forex, di ba, meron tayong Euro USD, GBP USD with futures, ang tawag lang sa pair niya is 6E, 6B, 6J, 6A, so and so on. So these are just some of the most famous pair in the Forex space na at ito yung counterpart nila na symbol with regards to futures. Although nag-trade ako ng Forex with currency, nag-trade ako ng currency with futures, pero hindi pa ako ganun ka-knowledgeable kung ilan yung value nila per contract, right? So I'll leave that to you to do your own research, but there is currency in futures trading or in futures prop firm. Meron din gold, meron din US oil. Alright. So the leverage on futures, there are two things. Meron tayong tinatawag na mini or meron tayong tinatawag na micro. So sa Forex, kagaya ng sabi ko, gumagamit tayo ng lots, but with futures, we use mini and micro. So ang mini, kapag nagtitrade ka ng NQ, it is $20 per point. So 1 mini is equivalent to $20. And kapag nagtitrade ka ng micro, it is $2 per point. So nakadepende yan kung anong type of trader ka, kung low leverage or mahilig ka sa malayo yung stop loss, it's best to use micro. Ang difference lang with using micro, mas maganda ang micro kapag nagpa-partial ka ng trade. Unlike kapag mini, hindi ka pwedeng mag-partial ng trade mo unless you are trading 2 or more minis. So if 1 mini lang yung tinitrade mo, hindi mo pwedeng i-partial, you have to fully close it. Pero kung gusto mo mag-partial, you have to trade the micros. Ang problema sa micros is mas mataas ang commission nila. Alright? So points versus ticks. Like I said, hindi tayo gumagamit ng pips. Alright? Hindi tayo gumagamit ng pips or lot size. So sa Forex, ginagamit is pips, but here we use points and ticks. So points is the smallest unit of price that moves on the left side of the decimal, and ticks is the smallest unit of price that moves on the right side of the decimal. So kunyari ito yung Nasdaq price, it is 18,500, trading at 18,500. So dito sa right side ng decimal, this is what we call tick, and dito naman sa left side, it is 18,501 or nadagdagan ng $1 yung trading ng Nasdaq, that is points. So yun yung difference nila. So every 4 tick, there are 4 points. Alright? Every 4 ticks, meron tayong 1 point. So basically ganun siya. Pero kapag nag-i-stream ako, nagfo-focus ako sa points. Hindi ako nakafocus sa ticks kasi napakaliit lang na movement ng ticks. Alright. So tick size and value and contract. So kapag gusto mo mag-trade ng mini, kailangan mo mag-trade ng ES or NQ kung nagte-trade ka ng index or indices kagaya ko. So for ES, ang tick size 0.25, ang value niya is $12.50. Ang per 1 point naman sa ES, it is $50. So kung 1 mini yung tinrade mo sa ES, 1 points is equivalent to 50, and sa tick value it is 12.50. And kapag MES naman, this means you are trading micro. So 0.25 per 1 tick, size niyan is 1.25 in value in dollars, or $5 per value per micro contract, and so on. So sa Nasdaq, it is 20. Like I said, 1 mini is equivalent to 20. Alright, so now, punta naman tayo dito sa quarterly contract. So every 4 months or every quarter, nagpapalit tayo ng chart na tinitrade with the index kasi nag-expire yung mga contracts. So sa March, ang gamit natin is Age. Sa June, it is M. September, it is U. December, it is Z. So alam ko medyo confused kayo. If you are new, don't worry. Papakita ko mamaya yung sa chart sa inyo. It's very simple. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito is magpapalit ka ng chart sa TradingView every 4 months kung ano yung pinapanood mo na price action. So ito yung example. Kung nagtitrade ka ng NQ, ang pangalan ng titrade mo is NQ Age, and then every 4 quarters pinapalitan mo yung letters. And paano mo ba malalaman pagpapalitan mo na? Every end of quarter, meron tayong tinatawag na rollover period. Within 1 week, yung volume na ta-transfer na dun sa kabilang contract. So para malaman yan sa barchart.com, although para makita mo kung ano yung mas malaki na volume. And then, but personally, pinapanood ko lang yung mga live streamers. Kapag nakita kong marami na magsuswitch na rin ako. It's very easy actually. Sa barchart.com, there's an option there where you click the futures and then papakita na niya kung anong contract yung mas malakas yung volume. And kung saan yung mas malakas na volume, pupunta lang tayo doon. Right. Position sizing with futures. So, ang position sizing with futures is ganito lang. So, the amount of dollar you want to risk and then the contract value per point. So, and divide mo siya by the point of the risk. So, for example, here for the NQ, magre-risk ka ng $800 on a 20-point stop loss. Alright? So, $800 divide 20. Bakit 20? Kasi yun yung points niya per 1 mini. Alright? So, per contract value per point or tick. So, it is 20. Okay? And then, divide mo siya ng another 20 is equivalent. Bakit 20? Kasi yun yung gusto mo na stop loss placement. Is equivalent to 2 NQ or 2 contract of MNQ. So, kung nasa micro ka, 20 yung ilalagay mo. Pero kung nasa mini ka, ilalagay mo lang is 2. So again, ang kinagandahan ng micro is makakapag-partial ka ng mas maayos, ng mas maraming beses. Ang problema lang with micro is mataas yung commission nila. So ganun lang siya. But don't worry, I know hindi to nagme-make sense sa inyo pag una. I've been there. Medyo nahihirapan ako sa position sizing, but over time, hindi na ako nagkakailangan ng calculator automatically in my head. Nako-compute ko na. So it's very crucial to have that. Kasi you should know how much you are risking bago ka pumasok sa trade. Otherwise, you are prone to making a wrong decision kapag nasa trade ka or nagkakamali ka sa trade management pag hindi mo alam ilan yung naka-risk sa'yo. Alright? So, again, this is another example but on the euro side. So, you want to risk $500 on 20 ticks on a 20 tick stop loss in euro. So, per tick sa euro, it is $6.25. So, sulat mo $500, divide by $6.25, divide by 20 kasi 20 tick yung SL mo is equivalent to 4 contracts yung ng position sizing. So this is your position sizing and this is also the position sizing. There's an easy way you can do this by going to TradingView, to which I will show you later on as well. Right. Now let's begin with futures prop firm versus forex. So a lot of you I know are coming from forex or forex prop firm. But this is just my personal experience kung ano ba yung nakita kong differences between the two. So, futures prop firm, it is a monthly subscription. Alright? Sa forex prop firm, it is a one-time fee. Magbabayad ka lang ng one-time fee sa forex, but with futures, you are paying monthly. And then with futures, you have multiple platforms. And with forex, it is limited platform. Lately na lang sila nag-add ng mga platform, but at the same time, in my opinion, they're not so great even though I did not use them yet. I think mas superior yung sa futures prop firm in general because it is well regulated. And then maraming nagka-crash na server with platform ng forex except MT5. But as you know, yung MT5 nagpo-pull out na siya with many of the prop firms. Next is 90% of the time so futures, it is trailing drawdown. There are two types of drawdown. So isa is end of day, yung isa unrealized trailing drawdown. So those two are very important later on sa TradingView. Alright? Papakita ko rin yan mamaya kung ano ba yan. So it is very important for you to know that kasi yun yung isa sa mga malaking difference sa forex prop firm. So with futures, hindi sila swing trader friendly because most of them won't allow you to hold position overnight. And also with the amount of drawdown na available sa futures prop firm, I don't think it is the best decision for you. So, yeah, walang masyadong swing trader friendly unless mag-trade ka ng micro and then hold mo siya buong araw. You can do that. You can, the moment na nag-open yung market on the Asia, you can open position and close it until the end of day. Then, ganun siya basically. But you cannot hold overnight as far as I know. Yeah. Pero ito, maganda dito, it is scalper friendly or intraday friendly because again, virtually there are no spreads. So halos hindi mo na makita yung spread unlike with forex. And then there are less payout denials in this as long as you followed all the rules. Like yung mga prop firms in my opinion in the futures are more liquid, mas marami silang cash. All right? Mas madali dito na magkaroon ng funded account but mas mahirap ang magkaroon ng payout. No refund upon payout. So as you know, may sa mga forex prop firm binibigyan ka ng refund kapag nakuha mo yung first payout mo. But in here, hindi nila ibibigay yung refund ng account mo. But yeah, when you get your payout, most of the time, ano ka naman, net positive ka naman. Kung yung challenge is $50, yung payout mo nasa 2K or something like that. So let's go to the Forex. It is 90% of the time static yung drawdown. We have static drawdown as well with futures prop firm, but they are a bit expensive and they have a lot of rules as well. Mamaya papakita natin yan kapag nag-dive in tayo with one of the prop firms that I trade with. With Forex prop firm, in my opinion, it's harder to get funded, but it's easier to get payout. The reason why I say this is because sa Forex prop firm, there are 2 stages. Sa futures prop firm, meron lang 1 stage para maging funded ka. Meron din naman ganun yung Forex prop firm, but if you're trying to go with one face account with Forex prop firm, just might as well go for futures. Mas madali makakuha ng payout with Forex prop firm because they don't have consistency rule. Wala silang minimum payout most of the time. Most of the time, it's just 1%. And yeah, wala silang mga minimum trading days for payout, stuff like that. So, nagbibigay sila ng offer, ng refund fee kapag nag-payout ka sa Forex prop firm. Ang problema dito, as we have seen in the past couple of months, ang Forex prop firm in general, it has a lot of drama, marami payout denials. This is because funding in general are just relying on failing challenges. We all know that because 95% or more than 90% of the traders failed. So, Forex prop firm is nagkukulangan na sila. Konti na yung nagtitiwala kasi nga marami ng prop firm ang nag-collapse in the past couple of months because of the things that have happened, including yung MT5. Nagpo-pull out siya sa mga prop firms and yung iba hindi sila ready, and then ang daming payout denials and na nangyayari. So, it has a lot of issues, drama in the space in general compared to the futures prop firm. That's why I personally moved to futures, and at the same time, main reason as well is I am trading indices and I like the fact that I can trade 1 minute, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, knowing that I can trust my stop loss. Compare with Forex, I tried that before, minsan yung slippage magi-spike, something like that, and it will take me out and goes into my favor. But with regards to futures, if I get stop out, I know for a fact that many other people got stop out as well. It's just not me because yeah, there are no manipulation in here because again, it is centralized and have one data price feed. How to enter futures trading? So there are 2 ways. You have personal capital and you have prop firm, which is my focus. I'm not gonna give any opinion about personal capital aside from what I said earlier, but as ang barrier to entry with personal capital and also with brokers, I have no idea which one is best. But as far as the top 5 goes, na alam kong nasa TradingView, well recommended by many people, are not allowed in the Philippines. I'm not sure why is that, pero hindi nila inaalaw sa Philippines yung mga personal capital sa mga top 5 na alam ko na broker. So my prop firms is my focus because they allow Philippines, and at the same time, I don't have a large capital. So wala akong large capital. I'm trying to take advantage while prop firms are here. Alright, so these are the prop firms that I use and some of the rules that I think that are good to include in here, but it's just a glimpse of it. My funded futures and Apex Trader funding are the 2 things that I use. I would include TopStep in here, but recently binawal nila ang Philippines to trade with them. After I told you my opinion about this and some of the rules, you should still read their agreement, terms and condition, etc. because these are just very few of the rules that I know that you should be aware of. Kasi ito rin yung isa sa mga major differences sa Forex prop firm. So My Funded Futures, sila din ang may-ari ng My Funded FX. So bago pa lang sila sa industry, alam ko mag-1 year pa lang sila, and the thing is, they have premium pricing, so mataas ang pricing nila, medyo mas mahal siya, but they have the best website, they have the best dashboard, they have the best customer service, probably because hindi pa sila ganun kalaki and they're trying to do their best. They have end of day drawdown, they have also the best static plan in the industry, same with Forex. So sa Forex static ang plan, but they also have static. But the problem is it is expensive in my opinion. So ang payout sa kanila is 14 days payout, but they have consistency rule. So most of the time sa Forex prop firm, ito yung wala. Ito yung consistency rule. Later on, I will discuss more what is consistency rule. So they have flexible plan option. They are the first company na nag-i-innovate ng mga plans. So meron silang tinatawag na starter, expert account, they have static account. So, and then you can have 3 account maximum funded. Later on, pupunta tayo sa website nila and just see the differences. With Apex, been in the industry for since 2021, they have cheap initial cost, so sobrang baba ng babayaran mo front cost. And then they have decent support. In my opinion, when you email their support, they will respond between 24 hours. But usually within 6 to 12, magre-respond sila. But with my funded futures, you can expect them to respond within 15 minutes. But really with futures, you don't, in my opinion, you don't really need support unless you have technical problem with your account. But most of the time, those problems can be answered by just Google or YouTube. They have unrealized trailing drawdown, which is most people hate. I used to hate this too, but I started adjusting my trading style para maging okay ako dito. Mamaya, again, like I said, i-discuss natin yan. Expensive PA fees. So, ano ba tong PA fees na to? So, with futures prop firm, meron kang babayaran na upfront cost, which is sa 50k account. With Apex, it's just $16 or $18 depending on the platform na nagtitrade ka. Mura lang ang initial cost na babayaran mo, but when you get funded, you have to pay an expensive PA fees. So dun sila bumabawi. Para ma-activate yung funded account mo, mahal yung babayaran mo na PA fees as compared to my funded futures. So my funded futures, they have premium price at initial cost, pero most of the time wala kang babayaran sa PA fees nila. Kailangan mo ng 10 trading days to request a payout. So this means kailangan mo mag-trade in a total of 10 days. Unlike with my funded futures, kapag nag-trade ka ngayon, after 14 days, kahit hindi ka na mag-trade, makakuha ka ng payout. With Apex, kailangan mo mag-trade ng 10 araw. Hindi siya, nag-trade ka ngayon, maghintay ka ng 10 days, makakuha ka. So kailangan mo ng 10 total trading days. And mas mababa yung consistency rule nila. But the thing is, you can have multiple accounts with Apex up to 20 accounts. As compared to my funded futures, tatlo lang yung pwede mong account. So, what is the consistency rule? Profit balance in the account cannot consist of more than 30% with Apex, 40% for my funded futures of the profit balance being from a single trading day. So, ano ba yung formula? Ang ibig sabihin nito is, halimbawa, you are funded. Naging funded ka with futures and you currently have a balance of 2,500. You multiply that by 0.30 is equivalent to $750. So, ibig sabihin, sa isang single trading day mo, hindi pwedeng mas mataas ng $750 yung isang araw. So, let's say nag-trade ako ngayon, Monday, 750 or let's say 800. But the next days are small, like 300, 200. Ang total profit ko is 2.5. Ibig sabihin, hindi ko na-meet yung consistency rule nila na 30% or 0.30. So, kailangan ko pang, hindi mabibreach yung account ko, pero hindi ako pwedeng mag-request ng payout kasi hindi ko na-meet yung 30% consistency rule. So, kailangan ko pang mag-profit sa balance ko. Kailangan ko tong i-increase. So, dapat kung 2.5 yung balance ko, hindi pwede na 700, more than 750 yung isang trading day ko. So, with my funded futures, they have higher consistency rule. So if 2.5 yung balance mo, okay lang na 1,000 yung isa sa mga single trading day mo. So that's the consistency rule that you have to be mindful of kapag naging funded ka. Unlike with Forex, pwedeng makakuha ka ng 30k payout tapos wag ka na mag-trade. Pwede na yan. With futures, you cannot do that. Let's say, nanalo ka ng isang malaki, 10k na 10k na profit. That means you need a lot of profit in order to meet the consistency rule para makapag-withdraw ka. Isa yun sa mga dahilan bakit makahirap makakuha ng payout with futures. Kaya with futures, kailangan consistent yung sizing mo, consistent yung nakukuha mo, hindi ka yung tipong nag-gamble ka sa isang setup, tas malaki yung profit and then yung iba mabababa na. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na consistency rule. Now, we move on to TradingView. I'm going to teach you 3 things in here. So, in order for you na magkaroon ka ng data view, is kailangan mo munang bumili ng market data. So, para ma-view mo ang chart ng futures ng walang delay, kasi kung wala ka nitong market data na to, merong 10 minutes delay ang data ng TradingView. So, kung nagtitrade ka, kailangan mo mag-subscribe sa TradingView dito. Although, meron naman yung mga platform na ginagamit sa mga futures, ang problema lang, hindi ka makakapag-chart and most of you are charting, I can imagine, from TradingView itself. So, sa market option, like punta ka sa TradingView here, dito sa product, and then pricing or market data. You can see this US stock market bundle, and you'll pay for $7 per month para ma-access mo tong data ng Nasdaq or futures market in general without any delay. That's how you get the real-time data from TradingView. So kapag binayad mo yon, it's a recurring month. You have to invest in it kung gusto mo talagang i-take seriously in trading mo. You cannot just rely on CFD chart. Okay, then next is to pull out your chart. And dito, ES, futures, you go to the futures and then click this button and you can see the contract month in here. So for instance, right now I am using the ESM because this is the contract month right now. So as you can see, like I said in the previous video, you basically just pull them up kapag time na mag-switch, kapag mas malaki na yung volume sa kabila. So ESM right now is mas malaki yung volume. Ito yung ginagamit for this quarter. So ito yung gagamitin na chart for ES. And then kapag nag-switch na, kailangan mo lang i-click ito. So kapag titingnan natin to, ganito yung chart niya ngayon. Bakit? Kasi hindi pa ito yung chart na tinitrade natin or tinitrade ngayon sa quarter na ito. Kaya yun yung dahilan kung bakit ES nakalagay dito sa right side ng screen ko, it says June contract. Kasi ito yung mga futures na June yung contract na ginagamit ngayon. So ganun lang siya kadali. Hindi nyo kailangan mag-overthink with contract month, but we switch every quarter kung ano yung tinitrade na chart. Right. Next thing is the position sizing. Like I said, kung paano ba mag-position size sa futures gamit ang TradingView. Let's say for instance, you already have your trading account. So with me personally, binibili ko with futures, gumagamit ako ng Tradovate. So with Tradovate, you can easily connect your TradingView account. So for instance, here, let's just log this one out, yung account ko. Log out Tradovate. So para ma-connect mo lang yung TradingView mo, punta ka lang dito sa trading panel down below. You click the Tradovate and then you insert your Tradovate username na ibibigay sa inyo ng prop firm and then yung password. And then you'll just connect it right here. And then pwede ka mamili ng account mo dito. Let's just say this 150k account that I have with my funded futures, gusto kong mag-risk ng 1,500. So let's say hypothetically, this was the trade that I would like to take. Let's say this one. Kunin mo lang yung RR tool mo here. Let's say I wanted to enter here. My stop loss is just 5 points, or you can see here. Then my take profit is just above here. All I have to do if I'm not yet versed kung paano mag-calculate ng position size na mas madali, kailangan mo lang gawin is pindutin mo to, lagay mo yung account size mo. So for this account, it's 150k. Ang lot size is always 1 and I wanted to raise $500 on this trade. So ilalagay ko $500 and then gaganyanin ko lang. So ang lalagay ko lang na position size dito is 2 contracts. Dahil nasa ES ako, wala ako sa micro ES. As you can see, ESM, it's not micro ES. Ang kailangan kong position sizing dito is 2 contracts para mag-open ng trade. So let's just say meron akong position or gusto kong mag-enter ng position. All I have to do is here buy 1 or I can create a new order and then ilalagay ko lang dito 2. So ganun lang siya kadali and then pwede kong i-market order and then ilalagay ko na and then you can move your stop loss manually and your take profit as well. So ganun lang siya kadali. Ano naman with micro, you can do that as well. So I don't trade micro ES. But if you're planning on trading micro ES, you can do that as well. So MES, this is the micro. Kung gusto nyo mag-trade ng micro and then dahil nga June yung contract month, i-click nyo lang to. And then now this is the data right here. Ilalagay natin dito. Now this is the micro ES. So again, it's the same. Ilalagay natin yung long natin dito. 5 point stop loss. And then ito yung take profit natin. 150k. Let's say this time I wanted to raise 1,500 or 1,250. Then click OK. Ang kailangan ko na contract is 50 micro ES. So ganun karami yung kailangan kong ilagay na position. Ang problema lang nga with MES is or trading micro is laki ang commission, pero the good thing about is flexible yung risk mo. Mas flexible yung dollar amount risk and also kung gusto mo mag-partial ng maraming beses, mas okay siya compare sa micro. So, ganun lang kadali. Bali, ito yung ilalagay mo na quantity ng contracts mo. So, ganun lang kadali yung sa position sizing and yung about sa contract month. Now that alam na natin yon, let's now move on. So, for the end of day drawdown, let's say you are trading with my funded futures which have end of day drawdown. So, meron kang 50k account, right? Ang allowed drawdown mo for this one is $48,000 or 2k, right? Kapag nabawas ka ng 2k, yan ang allowed mo. Alright, bawal kang pumunta sa 48k. Let's say nag-profit ka ng $1,000, naging 51,000 yung account mo. Kasi nag-profit ka nga ng 1,000, right? Ang ibig sabihin nito, mag-move yung allowed trailing drawdown mo after 5 p.m. EST. Kasi nga end of day siya. This means nag-trail na siya. Ngayon may bago ka ng allowed max loss. Since 2,000 nga ang max drawdown dito, magiging 49,000 na yung allowed bago ma-breach yung account mo. So, nagte-trail yung stop loss mo after end of day, every profit mo, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-consider as cushion kasi nga nagte-trail siya. Pero may certain amount na mag-i-stop yung trailing. If I am not mistaken, with my funded futures, kapag umabot ka ng 52,100, magiging static na yung account. So, hanggat hindi mo na hit yung threshold na yan, yung end of day drawdown mo is aabot siya ng, or lagi siyang nagte-trail. Okay? So, that is the end of day drawdown. After the next day, magbabago yung allowed max loss mo. Alright. So, ganun siya. Hindi ka tulad pag static, na kapag positive ka, kapag bumalik yan sa initial balance mo, break even ka. With futures, that's not how it works. That's why kailangan mo mas maging maingat sa mga trading setup mo. Hindi porket nanalo ka, tuloy-tuloy yung euphoria mo na okay lang na mag-risk ako kasi meron akong buffer. No, that's not how it works. That's why everyday trading as kailangan very careful ka sa setup mo. Kasi kailangan sa futures, yung equity mo is slowly siya pataas. Unlike with Forex, you can have like this, it's okay, right? Pero kapag sa futures, kailangan slowly but surely. So, ganun yung futures. So, hinahanap nila consistent. That's why they have this trailing drawdown rule. And then, the unrealized trailing drawdown naman, which is far harder. So, ang unrealized trailing drawdown is kapag nasa trade ka, automatically nagtitrail na yung account mo. So, with Apex, they have unrealized trailing drawdown. This is one of the reason why napaka-cheap ng fee nila kasi napakahirap ng rule na ito. But that also depends on what type of trader are you. Kasi for instance, ako sa live stream, nag-hold lang ako ng 10 points which is within 1 to 5 minutes usually nag-work yan. Maganda yung ganon sa ganong strategy. Pero if you're someone who's trading the account holding for hours or the whole intraday, it's not the best idea for you to trade with Apex. So with Apex, kailangan nag-i-scalp ka lang. You take your profit quickly. Don't let them go back into you. So it's also about the mindset na okay, I will not let this trade go against me. So like for instance in here, right? Halimbawa, eto, naglong ka dito. Let's just assume na naglong ka dito sa place na to. And you have a 1:2 risk to reward ratio. Here. So ang risk mo, let's say, kapag natalo ka, $500. So we are now talking about the unrealized trailing drawdown, alright? So dito sa fair value gap na to, nakapag-long ka. Let's just say nakapag-long ka here. And then, dahil nga 1:2 to, 1,000 yung profit mo. Let's just assume na hindi to nag-workout. Hindi to nakuha sa take profit mo. So, nung nakapag-enter ako sa position na to, nag-move siya in my favor. At some point, nasa $500 profit na ako. And then, this goes back to break even. You cut it at break even. This means you are actually down $500 kasi at some point nag-trail yung drawdown mo kasi nga unrealized. It is trailing you habang nasa trade ka. That's why with Apex, kailangan mong mag-secure ng profit or mag-trail ng stop loss mo. Ganun siya kahirap. So hindi pwede yung nag-hold ka ng trades tapos marami siyang back and forth kasi halimbawa you are up here almost hit your 1,000 profit target and this is $900 profit, let's say, and then bumalik yan hanggang sa stop loss mo na 500, this means you are not just down $500. You are down 900 plus 500. That is 1,400. Kasi nag-trail siya habang nasa trade ka. So, ganun yung Apex. Kaya nga with Apex, it is teaching me to take my profit quickly and not let them go against me. So, ganun kahirap yung rule ng Apex, yung unrealized trailing drawdown. But with 50k account, like I said, kapag nakuha mo na yung 2.5 profit, magiging static na yung account mo, hindi na yan magte-trade. So, halos lahat naman ng prop firm may ganun na rule, mag-i-stop sila na mag-trail at a certain balance. So, ganun siya. So, let's just assume like another scenario here. Let's say here, right? Nag-enter ka here. Dito, nandito na yung price. You are up $300. Now, the price pulls back on you. Nag-pull back yung price papunta sa'yo. And then, you got scared. Right? And then, kinat mo yung profit mo at $100. This means, yung account mo, positive ka na $100. Pero still, yung allowed drawdown mo, dahil ang highest equity mo is nasa 300, ang highest equity mo at some point is 50,300, then, yung allowed mo na lang na drawdown yan is 2,300. Alright? So, nagtitrail siya lagi sa unrealized mo. So, ganun siya. Hindi siya intraday friendly na mag-hold ka ng for hours na trade. This is just for scalping. But if you are so confident with your trades, you can hold them. There's no problem. Just make sure you try to trail them as much as possible. So, let's say you entered here. Maybe like you can trail below this low, like there's a fair value gap here or there's an order block here, pwede mong i-trail doon. Then when the price goes into your favor, pwede mong i-trail dito. Then below this, below this, below this, below this, pwede mong i-trail yung stop loss mo para hindi ka masyadong masaktan sa unrealized trailing. So basically ganun din yung ginagawa ko and pag-adapt naman ako. And like I said, it is cheap for Apex. Yung initial cost nila, mura yung initial cost, which right now meron silang 90% off. So $18 lang siya. So ganun ang difference ng unrealized trailing drawdown, end of day drawdown, and static. So make sure na alam niyo yung mga yan bago kayo mag-dive in sa futures trading. So the best one talaga is static, but so far walang may magandang offer na static account aside from my funded futures, but still they are a bit expensive in my opinion. So but if you want to try, you can try that. Obviously, there's not, if I have the money to pay for static, I would do so. But yeah, I would just go for unrealized trailing drawdown and just go for base hit and 10 points with Nasdaq every day, which is $200, which is more than enough. Imagine doing that for the next 5 days, you get 1k USD. That's the ideal scenario, and then you're trading multiple accounts as you gain your confidence. So yeah, now let's dive in sa prop firms, and yeah, pakita ko sa inyo yung difference ng My Funded Futures and Apex. So ito yung webpage ng My Funded Futures. Maganda yung initial impression ko, and these are the platform that they work. Most of the time I use Tradovate with trading platform, and yun yung ginagamit ko para mag-connect sa TradingView. Alright, so kapag nag-login tayo sa account, this is what I mentioned kapag nung sinabi kong merong pinakamagandang dashboard ang My Funded Futures, kasi makikita mo yung statistics ng trading account mo, unlike with Apex or any other platforms out there that I know. So this is what I like. Makita mo yung best trade mo and basically statistics ng trading account mo. With many of the other platforms out there, hindi mo makikita. So isa yun sa mga gusto ko with My Funded Futures. But now let's move to the challenges that they have. Kasi ang My Funded Futures ang isa sa mga may flexible na plan. So if bago ka pa lang, I would not look at the account size, but rather titingnan ko yung max drawdown na allowed. So for me, ang pinaka worth it na option dito lagi is ang 50k account. Hindi porket mas malaki yung value ng account size, mas maganda yung plan. Kasi tinitingnan mo din dyan yung profit to or yung target to drawdown ratio. So for instance, dito sa starter account, 3k lang ang profit target na kailangan mo, pero ang 2k mo, ang drawdown mo $2,000. Dito sa 100k, it is 6k yung profit target and then 3k ang drawdown mo. So 1:2 siya. Compare mo siya sa 3k dito, 2k na max drawdown. That's why I always just go for 50k account ng mga prop firms kasi may mas maganda silang profit to drawdown ratio. Alright, so yeah, that's basically it. Just always go for a starter pag una pa lang. Tapos ang ano mo is 50k account kasi mas maganda yung drawdown nila. And also makita mo na $100 per month, but most of the time nagra-run sila ng promotion dyan na $50 lang yan per month. And then magbabayad ka ng activation fee na $150 kapag kapag napasa mo na yung account para ma-activate yung funded account mo. But again, just always wait for better promo kasi lagi sila nagra-run ng promo. Nung last time nakabili ako sa kanila $70 pero walang bayad yung activation fee. So $70 per month. Alright, tapos walang bayad yung activation fee. So nakasave ako ng malaki doon kasi wala kang babayaran pag nakapasa ka. And dito naman sa expert account nila, $165 per month. Ito yung isa sa mga premium na meron sila. Ang maganda dito is walang activation fee. Wala rin siyang scaling rule. So, ang scaling rule, ang ibig sabihin lang yan is yung max contract size na pwede mong ilagay. So, sa expert, pwede kang mag-5. Pwede ka rin naman dito sa starter. Ang problema lang dito sa starter is hindi ka pwedeng agad mag-max 5 contracts kasi kailangan mo munang mag-scale yung balance mo. Kailangan tumaas muna yung balance mo bago ka makapag-3, bago ka makapag-4, bago ka makapag-5. Pero, mind you, ang 5 is napakalaki. 1 mini pa lang is malaki na, especially if you're trading Nasdaq. So, I don't really try to go 3 contracts beyond kapag 50k account sa my funded futures. I treat them slowly. So, at most 2 contracts lang ang ginagawa ko. But, in here, walang scaling rule. Pwedeng 5 agad kahit anong balance account mo. Wala rin silang activation fee dito sa account na to. Ang problema sa expert account is mas mahal siya and at the same time mas malaki yung profit target compare mo sa starter. Dito 1:2 din yung profit target. Ang kinagandahan lang sa expert account is wala rin silang consistency rule. Walang consistency rule so pwedeng maka-profit ka ng malaki ng isang araw, pwede mong ma-withdraw lahat yon after 14 days. Unlike sa starter, kailangan mo ng consistency rule. Alright. Now, let's go to the static plan that they have. Ang static plan is katulad sa Forex prop firms na kung saan kapag nakuha mo yung profit, hindi nagtitrail yung allowed drawdown mo. So, dito sa static account nila, $300 per month. Pero again, may promo yan. Usually, nasa 210 lang to. And ito namang static pro nila is nasa 350 if I am not mistaken. So, isa ito sa mga bagong plan na meron sila. Ang kinagandahan din dito is yun nga, flexible yung withdrawal, walang consistency rule dito, pero meron silang maximum payout allowed. I believe it is $3,000 per 14 days dito sa Static Pro, if I am not mistaken. And then dito yata nasa 1.5. So meron lang silang payout cap every 14 days, pero after 60 days, mawawala na yun. So if you're planning to go for static, it's not that bad as well, as long as na-afford mo yung static. But again, these are monthly payment. So, mas maganda na mapasa mo yung challenge account within 1 month para hindi ka magbayad ng recurring fee. And then, yeah. Now, what happens if I fail the challenge? Well, kung nabagsak mo yung challenge, pwede mo naman tanggalin yung billing na yun. Pwede mo naman i-cancel yan anytime. Pero, yun nga, hindi na marirenew account. Ang kinagandahan sa my funded futures, ang renewal mo nag-a-act siya as reset. That's why ang strategy ko, it's either I pass or blown the account para kung sakali man magbabayad ako for recurring fee, kung na-blow ko yung account, meron ako libreng reset. Much like, bumili na ako ng panibagong account. Again, this pricing are a bit expensive because these are not promos. So, meron lagi silang promo. Check nyo yan sa Discord nila or sa Twitter or yeah, sa mga announcement nila na meron kayo. So, that's basically it. Flexible ang my funded futures. They're one of the prop firms that I use as well. Isa sa mga nagustuhan ko sa kanila before ang static plan. But now, let's move on to the Apex. So initially, kapag nakapunta ka sa website ng Apex, ito yung makikita mo. Meron sila laging 80% or 90% discount. So it says 1 day pass pero hindi mo naman kailangan makapasa sa 1 day. Ang ibig sabihin lang yan is after mong makapasa, mabibigay ng account, magbabayad ka ng activation fee. With my funded futures, they are also 1 day pass prop firm, so hindi mo kailangan minimum trading days. Now, let's go to some of the plans that they have. So meron sila hanggang 300k plan, But again, we do not look at the account size. Tinitingnan natin dapat dito is yung yung drawdown nila kasi yun yung real na binabayaran mo. For instance, dito sa 50k account nila, meron kang profit goal na 3,000 and then ang allowed drawdown mo is 2,500, which is more compared to my funded futures. But the thing is, ang problema dito sa Apex is unrealized trailing drawdown sila. And then they also have static, but it's not the best static kasi kailangan mo yata is 2,000 profit target, 600 lang yung drawdown mo if I am not mistaken. So let's just check this out. So ayan, makikita nyo dito sa website nila. Hanapin nyo na lang yung best nyo. But like I said, just always go for 50k, trust me. So eto, 2k yung profit goal, 625 lang yung drawdown sa static account nila, which is far not the best compared to my funded. Ang isa sa mga nagustuhan ko with Apex is yung payout rules nila. Unlike with my funded futures, kailangan mo mag-iwan ng buffer. At some point kasi matatanggal din naman yung trailing drawdown sa mga account na to. Kailangan mo lang dun sa above buffer. So sa 50k account, if I am not mistaken, kailangan mo ng 2,100 sa my funded futures. With Apex, kailangan mo ng 2,500 profit. Ibig sabihin, magiging static na yung account after profit. Nag-profit ka ng ganon, so hindi mo na kailangan pa na mag-worry about trailing drawdown. Ang nagustuhan ko sa Apex is makakapag-withdraw ka ng profit mo, hindi mo kailangan mag-iwan ng buffer. Compare sa my funded futures, meron kang buffer na kailangan iwanan. So kung nag-profit ka ng 3k, kailangan mong iwanan yung 2k mo as buffer. With Apex, hindi mo kailangan gawin yon. Kung nag-profit ka ng 3k, pwede kang mag-withdraw ng 2,000 or 2,000 ang maximum kasi until after 60 days. Hindi mo kailangan mag-iwan ng buffer. But again, pag naubos yung allowed buffer mo, mabibreach yung account. But I like being able to take out all the payment regardless if mabreach yung account. At least nakuha ko ng buo yung pera and it will hit my bank account. And I don't have to wait for I don't have to leave a buffer. So let's log into my account. So main differences with Apex is wala silang dashboard na makikita mo yung stats mo like risk to reward, holding time, etc. compared to my funded futures. So ang nagustuhan ko mainly with Apex is cheap initial cost, mura, $18 per account una, pero magbabayad ka ng fee which is $100 per month activation or $160 within lifetime. So I just always go for lifetime because I don't want to get pressured. So gusto ko sa nila yung payout rules nila. And gusto ko yung the fact na mura yung initial cost. And that's what I like about Apex. And you can trade multiple accounts. So that's what I like about it. With my funded futures, they do not want you to have multiple accounts. But gusto nila consistent ka with one account kasi kapag nakita nila yung consistency mo, ilalagay ka nila sa live account. Unlike with Forex prop firm, kahit sobrang profitable mo pa, you will always be in a simulated environment. Compare sa futures, dinadala ka sa real broker, bibigyan ka ng real live capital and then entitled ka for daily payouts. That is my funded futures. Magkaiba sila ni Apex. Although with Apex, I think heavily nagre-rely sila sa fail challenges. But again, Apex has a lot of more customers and mas trusted na sila with the industry. And also, mas mahirap yung rules nila and a lot of people are just gambling their accounts with Apex unfortunately kasi nga mura yung mga fees. Alright, so regardless, whatever you think is best for you, feel free to try. Just try 50k on both prop firm. So like I said kanina sa TradingView, in-explain ko kung anong difference ng unrealized versus end of day. So kung maabot kayo sa part ng video na to, I would like to thank you so much and check the link down below in the description. And if you would like to try or start your futures trading journey right now with Apex or with my funded futures, I'll get a few commission kapag bumibili kayo sa gamit ang link ko down below. So, malaking tulong yun for me. Leave a like and comment and share it to your friends or to whomever you want. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace. Bye.